Welcome back to the Purple Rain Podcast. So, the 2025-26 season has been a big season for women's hockey in Edmonton. And lady, you really wanted to take the floor on this one. Yeah, so I'm going to let you take the floor as of right now. Go. Okay. So Edmonton has seen a lot of women's hockey this season. Obviously, back in December 2025, they hosted both of the two games that were going to be hosted in Canada, which I recall at the time was a shock. Yeah, I mean, I was quite surprised that Canada chose to just host their two games in just one barn, whereas the USA went for, Buffalo and Cleveland, which was also, for me, quite surprised, kind of, particularly Cleveland. I mean, Buffalo kind of made sense because Buffalo, obviously, back in February of 2025, had the Takeover Tour game. But Cleveland was a bit of a surprise. And yeah, it's one of those markets that I would happily would suggest be a candidate for expansion. Yeah. So they had that. And of course, they got two Takeover Tour games, both Vancouver Goldeneyes home games. Yes, both home games for the Goldeneyes. In December, first game back on Christmas, they had us, which the Frost won overtime, 2-1. And then in April, the last Takeover Tour game of the season, they had the Boston Fleet, who basically just, whooped Vancouver's backside. Spanked! Ah! Boston spanked Vancouver. We don't like that phrase! I know. So, for me, I kind of looked at this and thought, Edmonton's really making a real big push. Yeah. They're making a really big push to get more women's hockey. And that's good, because obviously, with this league continuing to grow at a more rapid pace, the demand for it is going to get even more bigger and enticing and intriguing than before. So if you've already got your foot in the door, if you've already got a working relationship with the league, then that should really give you an advantage. Yeah. And did we ever get the official attendance records for the Rivalry Series? No. I think they were, if I'm right, I think they were decent crowds, but we didn't get the actual numbers. Okay, because that actually could have helped us with this episode today. Edmonton on both Takeover games only got roughly 10,000 per game, which is a bit surprising because I think last year they had 17,000 for the charge and sectors. Okay, so that's a bit alarming. To have then drops on both. Because I generally felt with two Rivalry Series games in Edmonton, I thought this would have been a good opportunity for people who are going to go to our series. If they like what they see, well, then you can then just come to the Takeover Tour. Especially how the Takeover Tour game between us was only about a couple of days after the second Rivalry Series game. So if you really loved what you see here, you could have just got your tickets straight away. You could have just gone to the box straight away and just get tickets. So it's interesting that with Edmonton how they had a little bit of dip this year, because obviously, as I said, they had a very good attendance in last season's Takeover Tour, and this year both they got just 10,000, so basically your minimum. Yeah, for me, I think the best way to judge a successful Takeover Tour in terms of attendance is if they can get at least 10,000 people. 10,000, I think, is what you should be aiming at a minimum. Anything below that is seen as a, you say it, is seen as a, exactly. And Chicago, you got a double. Well, that is so childish. Oh God. Yeah. I can't wait till we get next year's Takeover Tour details, and I can then just wipe away this year's and just go, right, that's the past now. We will not need to look at that ever again. Particularly with Chicago. So make the most of it while you still can, my boy. Make the most of it while you still can doing that. But yeah. So Edmonton, I think, would be a perfect candidate for expansion. Oh yeah. You know, we do need some teams in the Mountain Time Zone. Okay, we've got teams in the East, we've got teams in the Central, we've got teams Pacific. The one time zone that we're missing teams from is the Mountain. And that's where Denver should come in, and that's where Edmonton should and Calgary should come in. Speaking of Denver, I've seen something about a different sports team with arenas. So I'm thinking maybe that might be our advantage. I'll watch video 4, then I'll talk more about it with you guys, and then maybe we can decide if we'll do it as like an episode 2 or something. Okay. Try to just help Denver's case. Yeah. I'll get it watched tonight, and then we can have a talk about it tomorrow if we want to do it or not. Okay. No, so Caroline, go back to Edmonton's position. Yeah. So I think Edmonton would be a really good. Well, actually, both markets in Alberta, Edmonton and Calgary would be brilliant markets. Calgary, of course, has got that rich hockey history, but no arenas. Yeah, you had to explain to me why Calgary really was not good. It's not going to work, because I would have thought with the new arena coming in 27, 28, I thought that would be the open goal, wouldn't it? Yes, but I had to then explain to you that all the teams currently in Saladome are going to move to the new barn in September 2027. So that is a no. So basically, we go with Calgary. We go right back to square one. And to make matters worse, is the Saladome is going to get demolished. It's going to go under demolition. The wrecking ball's going to come. So it's not like you can do what Vancouver did with Pacific Coliseum and just basically give it a massive $100 million renovation to make it up to standards. It's basically just it's going. That's a shame because with the possibility for other sports teams to come in. Really, with these old arenas, don't do a Miley Cyrus. I wasn't even gonna go there. I was trying to keep this clean. Oh my god! I wasn't even gonna go there. I wasn't even gonna go there. Really? With the lumberjacks and the jacks in their uniform store. No, I was not gonna. No, hunky bear lumberjacks and builders weren't only the hypeest best. Don't try and turn my gay mind on. Don't do that. We're in the middle of recording. Don't try that. I know what they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing here. They're basically trying to turn me on. They are abusing my publicly coming out to try and make me look like the fool who can't control himself. Try to picture it. Oh, you dirty bastard! Go in cold showers, the pair of you! You dirty bastards! Okay, just because I'm gay does not mean we have to speak about sex all the damn time. Really? 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 You can make you want to, Jordan. No! No, I will not! I will not admit to that! But what I'm trying to say is, don't bulldoze things, renovate them. Because there's so much opportunity now in the sports landscape. You've not just got men's sports, you've got women's sports, who also could benefit from Saladome still being around. So, yeah. Oh, God. Is kicking the Rangers out not an option? No. I initially thought, yes, the best way to do it would be kick the Wranglers out, but I thought, well, if you kick the Wranglers out and make them go to, like, say, community iceplex that can seat about 2,000 people, it still will work because you would still be the exact same scheduling matrix issues you would have to put PHL Calgary to the Wranglers. So, no. So your best bet for Alberta right now is Edmonton. Yeah. But the problem is with Edmonton is they want to own the team. Because I did look up. The Oilers Arena only has 2 tenants. One of them's the Oilers, and one of them is a minor league hockey team. So durable. We easily could put a PHL Edmonton team in this time tomorrow, my friend. We easily could. This time tomorrow, we easily could do it. Okay? Because it's not the tenant issue you've got in Calgary. So you could easily say this time tomorrow, you could easily put a PHL Edmonton team in Edmonton. The problem is Edmonton wants to own the team. And that is not what's on the table. I can keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. That is not the model that we are in right now. Okay? And personally, I don't think I'd ever want to go into that model. I'm actually very happy with the single entity model. It's something I've not really been familiar with before the PHL, but I personally have been happy with it over the last 3 seasons, and I'm happy to continue that for quite a long while. Because, well, that's mainly because you've been burned by so many bad owners. Exactly. You know? Exactly. I've seen firsthand what a bad ownership group looks like and what they can do to a team. Where they just literally just do whatever the fuck they want to do with it. Yeah, so that's why I'm not in the mood to have these teams get sold to different ownership groups, because I could just see what would happen. And I don't want to see that happen. So Everton, please, if you really want to win this league so bad, get off your high horse, concede the fact that you will not be able to have this team as your own, and just deal with it, okay? Because Albert, having a team in Western Canada could really help the Goldeneyes. Yeah. And Edmonton would be the best protocol. Would be the best, yeah. I mean, is it a bit of a strange coincidence that the Goldeneyes got 2 Takeover Tour games in Edmonton as the home team? So anyone else think that's a bit of a coincidence? Because I don't. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, because the Goldeneyes have been their first season, well, you want to spread them out across, like we did with Seattle. Yeah, well, we don't make the schedule, we just report on them. Exactly, lady, exactly. But I do think it's interesting how Edmonton's made a really big push this season to get more women's hockey on their calendar. Yeah. And I just wonder, and I'll ask you this in a moment, I just wonder, would they have done that if they're not interested in a team? Oh, I think they definitely want a team. I generally do believe the city of Edmonton wants to have the PHL as a permanent tenant. But the problem is those external factors which I've just explained, which I've literally just explained, okay? That's what's stopping it. That's what's stopping it. Okay, that's what's stopping it. That's probably what got the door open for Hamilton to come in and sweep it. Because let's face it, if Edmonton conceded their concessions, do you think Hamilton would have still got in? No. There you go. No. So yeah. So Edmonton's loss is Hamilton's game, and I think Hamilton, well done. You deserve to be here because you know what needs to be done to ensure that you can thrive in the city. Edmonton, sort yourselves out. Sort yourselves out. Just literally sort yourselves out. Okay? Because I do believe the city wants to be there. I mean, you've had well over nearly 40,000 people across 3 Takeover Tour games attend. That really should be enough metrics. That should be enough analytics to say yes, this is a market that is right for the league. But unfortunately, there are external factors going on that is preventing it from happening. Plum, what do you think? I personally do think Edmonton really does want to position itself as a hotspot for women's hockey. I mean, the fact that they've got 4 games alone this season that we've just had, I think that shows your commitment's there. But it just feels like half and half. Because if you're prepared to have, like, say, these Rivalry Series games, you're prepared to have these Takeover Tour games, but you're not prepared to take the next step, then, to me, it feels like your commitment is pretty much half and half. So, I think Everton, you need to ask yourselves, how badly do you want to be a part of it? So you want to be part of it that bad, then seriously, just concede that you cannot have this team as your own, except it will be under the single entity ownership, and be done with it. And maybe it might be possible to buy a team, but who knows? Yeah. It's such an interesting situation because you never know. You never know. Maybe one day we might see different ownership groups for these teams, but right now that is clearly not on the table. So Edmonton, ask yourselves, do you really want to be in the league or not? If you do, then you need to work out how you get around this stumbling block of, the people who own the rink want to actually also own the team, because that's not on the table. No. And I would not be surprised if we see Edmonton again on the Takeover Tour next year. Because I think any returning market on the Takeover Tour next year, I think they should not be seen as immediate candidates for expansion. Nope. Because that's off the table now for quite some time. Yeah. What they should be seen as is that these are the markets that are trying to build a relationship with the league so that they, say maybe 3 or 4 years out, which of course is your preferred timeline, George, they then try and get in first, rather than get bamboozled by a market that didn't even get a chart, didn't even get tested or trials to be tested. It would be very interesting. Oh no. Oh, I know. I know where this is going. I'm not even saying it yet, but I know your dirty, wicked mind. I know where this is going to go. It would be very interesting, say, if Denver Edmonton does get to put the Takeover Tour again next year, but they have to host either Vegas or Zaze. Oh, I knew you were going to go there. You are evil. Do you know that? You are a sick bastard. You are a sick bastard. Do you think they would be envious? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but if I was a citizen in Denver, I would be very, very, very pissed off that Vegas and Zaze got in first, because neither of them got tested. Vegas didn't get a Takeover Tour game at all. I mean, at least Zaze got a Rivalry Series game back in 2024, which you can sort of technically count as a test, because, okay, while it wasn't an actual PWHL game, it was still a women's hockey game, so I think for me that's also a good test of how well they do or not. So, with Zaze, you can sort of say they got tested, it just wasn't the test that everyone would see as the ideal test, because I think everybody just looks at the Takeover Tour and thinks, right, if you're being given that's your big test so you can be an expansion team in the future. Have Vegas had any women's hockey events? I don't know. Because, for me, Vegas kind of feels like it's just come out of nowhere, and they've only got in because all these other sports leagues want to go to Vegas. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because remember in their press conference they try to pay us out. Oh, everyone wants to come to Las Vegas. No. No. No, we don't. No, we don't. I don't. What have we paid you? What have you got? What have you got paid to go attend a PHL Las Vegas game? I think the only way I would go to a PHL Las Vegas game in Las Vegas is if it's basically what we did for Denver. So we fly in, we get the game, but then we fly straight back out. Yeah, that would be the only way to do it, because I could do it. Because you guys know my feeling about that market. You know my feelings. So that's the only way I could do it. It has to be like the Takeover Tour. We fly in, we see the game, then we fly straight back out there again. That's how we do. But Edmonton, I think, really is one of those markets we should be looking into the future and think, right, how credible are their chances of expansion? I mean, if you can just get that small detail sorted, then. But didn't you try to look up arenas? I did try to look up arenas in Edmonton, and I don't think there are any that would be a viable option for the PHL. It's like Calgary. It's just you try googling hockey arenas in and for those two markets in Alberta, you then get a lot of like community iceplex, which just hold like 2,000 people, which of course would be a no-no. A no-no in this day and age. Season 1, it was fine, it was acceptable, but not now. We're in Season 4, okay? That ship has long sailed. So I don't know which idiot was suggesting that 2,000 seater in Chicago. Oh, I really wish I knew who that person was who stoked those plays on Twitter. Because I would kill them. Lady, you would have to join the queue. You would have to join the queue, love. Because I'm first. Right, in case you don't know, the week after we got back from Minneapolis, somebody on Twitter was starting to fan the flames that Chicago was going to get an expansion team, and the arena that the stupid arsehole suggested was this kind of 2,000 seater that was clearly being used for a soccer team. I saw straight through it. Despite being extremely jet lagged. I saw straight through it. I was like, no. I saw, did you engage? Nope. I didn't engage because I straight away was like, I know what this is. I could see people in the comments were engaged. It was like, stop, no. But I was not going to dare do it. So, yeah. I saw straight through that. So otherwise, if you see somebody on Twitter suggesting that a PHLT could play a 2,000 seater, they're lying. He even had the cheek to say he has credible sources to back up this information. Well, I'm sorry, when your credible sources are your own two arse cheeks, I don't think we're going to take that seriously, do you? But in Everton County, where I tried to look up what other hockey arenas, they just kept calling up these other like community iceplex that would only house 2,000 people, which would not really do. So at Edmonton and Calgary, it's going to have to be, we want to get these two markets, which we all want, which us three want. It's going to have to be the NHL arenas or bust. So Calgary, that's a problem. Edmonton, it's not really a problem, but they're making it a problem. But I generally felt this season, good vibes about Edmonton's chances. I don't think we locked them in, did we, at the end? No. I think what us three did is we had Edmonton as a shortlist candidate. What, to put on what? We now go all traitors speak now, are we? They put them on death row. Sorry, carry on. No, we had them as as a shortlist candidate for who we think should get expansion teams, but I don't think we ever truly locked them in because we already locked both Denver and Detroit in. So I think. Oh yeah. Carry on. So I think the consensus was we can't really afford to lock in any more markets because we've already locked in two. Whereas I think if we just locked in either Detroit or Denver, then we could have maybe then locked in Edmonton. Yeah. We pretty much did a lot of expansion roulette last year by basically saying this market could be in, then took them out, then put this one in and took them out, and all. So yeah, Detroit we had locked in because with Detroit we just felt it was always going to be a question of when, not if. And we've also felt the exact same thing with Denver. And of course, with Denver, those beats were even more strong following, us actually attending the Takeover Tour in person. So, yeah. But at the end of the day, Edmonton is a really good market for women's hockey. And they've proved it now on so many occasions. 3 successful Takeover Tour games. 2 Rivalry Series games. What more do they need? That is kind of a million-dollar question, isn't it? What more does Edmonton need to do to convince the league that you should look at us for expansion and not over there? So I think Edmonton has to really now think in its pitch what USP could you give the league that could go and say yes, you crossed the finish line. Same with Denver. Yeah, I just feel like we need 2 markets in the Mountain Time Zone. Oh, agree. The Mountain Time Zone is the only time zone we've not got covered in markets. And yet there's a lot of good markets in there that we know that could do it. Yep. And plus, it's not the time difference is not too bad with Minnesota because when we shifted from Minneapolis to Denver, it was only an hour's difference. Not that you all watch. No, not that I watched. No, not that my watch. It was brand new. It was brand new. I had to get a new watch last year. It's about start of the HL season last year. I had to get a new watch. And unfortunately, when we moved from Minneapolis to Denver, my watch didn't switch time zones. My watch stayed on Central Time Zone. It didn't switch to Mountain Time Zone. But my phone, thankfully, my phone did. So I kind of felt, right, well, as long as one of my devices has got the right time, we're only there for the weekend. Yeah. I don't need to really faff about with both of them. I can just do one. So I just basically have the phone and not my watch. Yeah, but when we got back to the house, you didn't switch your watch back on. No, because obviously we lost our suitcase. And of course, my watch charger can't be charged with the power bank. In fact, let me show my power bank. Okay. So, right. So, yeah. So this is my power bank. And the only device it cannot charge is my Samsung watch. That is the only device it cannot charge. All my other devices, so tablet and phone, can charge with a power bank. Watch, it can't. So basically, I had to ration that when we got back to Minneapolis, because obviously we did lose our suitcase when we got back to Minneapolis from Denver. And of course we didn't get it back until the flight home from Minneapolis. So yeah. But for Minneapolis, the time zone is not the time difference is not that bad between Minneapolis and the mountain regions. So that would be fine, no problem. So Denver, Edmonton, and Calgary would be markets. You look at everything. Yes, can we put them in and work out how to do it? But I think right now Edmonton is the one that's really making the biggest push, making the biggest noise of Edmonton and Calgary. So I wouldn't be surprised if Edmonton gets in first, and then Calgary. Because I think the possibility, the potential for a potential PWHL Battle of Alberta is too big to ignore. Well, it can't be any worse than the one in the NHL. Colin McDavid has been in the AHL for a decade now, and we've only had one true Battle of Alberta, and that was 4 years ago, and even that was shit. Because it only went to 5 games. Well, that first game was quite eventful. Calgary winning that 9-6. Bloody hell! Yeah. But even though I was not impressed like that, because I was obviously in that series, I was backing Edmonton. Did I win the sweep? I think he did. Alright, I was backing Edmonton in that series, so I was not impressed. But it kind of set the tone for what could be a really potential good, at least best of 6, best of 7. And then when Edmonton got control of the series, it's like, okay, I got no answer. So yeah. So we've had 10 years of Colin McDavid. Steady. Oh, he's gone now. Okay, forget horny lumberjacks, it's horny hockey players, but George. Stop it! Admit it! You can't deny that, given how you fancy Scott Hunter. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Who does not? Okay, we've had 10 years of Colin McDavid, and yet we haven't really seen like a good proper Battle of Alberta, and the league has tried. Remember that Heritage Classic a few years back? Oh yeah, that was quite thrilling, despite the really harsh conditions. Who won that? Was it Edmonton? I can't remember. Oh, I can't remember. Might have been, but only just. Ooh. But tell you what, let's look it up now. Let's look it up now, real quick. So, what we was again? 2023. 2023. Okay. Might go watch the highlights back. Right, so 2023 Heritage Classic. Not long till this year's. Yeah, because we've got one coming up this year. Winnipeg's going to be hosting Montreal end of October. Right. Okay. I actually am quite fascinated to see how that one's going to go. Okay. Right, got it. Edmonton won it 5-2. Ooh! It was Edmonton who actually hosted it at the Commonwealth Stadium. And they got 55,411 fans for that game. So let's look at the summary, shall we? Wow! Edmonton relied on a lot of secondary scoring in that game. Neither Drysdale or McDavid got goals in that game. But they did register assists. But wow. So, okay. Edmonton won that. But yeah, I agree they need to finish off. I think the PHL would do a much better job with a Battle of Alberta than the AHL would do right now. I can't believe you are older than McDavid. Neither can I. Neither can I. Because the hockey guy has just recently done a video about Colin McDavid, and he mentioned that McDavid turns 30 in January. And I was like, what? I'm older than McDavid! Yeah, they're only by 2 mums, George. 2 mums still a massive difference, lady! I can't believe I'm older than McDavid. How is that possible? And he doesn't look it, whereas you do. Yes, thank you! Thank you. The boys and girls do not need to be in my mental age. Thank you very much. Thank you. But bloody hell. I think Drysdale was similar age as well. To him or me? Maybe Tim. Oh. Are you not looking that up? Yep. Here we go. Don't draw this character, George. Oh! Mama! Well, you do call David Drysdale the king and queen of Edmonton. Because they are. When those two go, they're fucked. Drysdale's 30. Drysdale was born the year before me. Drysdale was born 1995. So I'm 96. McDavid's 97. Isn't that a lovely way to end the show for? No, let's end the show by saying, on record, do we think Edmonton should get a team in the future for the PWHL? So yes or no? I'll kick it off. Okay, we'll go this way. I do believe Edmonton should be given a PWHL team in the future. Yes. Ready? I do think Edmonton deserves a team, and I think they should get a team. Okay. It's going to be unanimous. I do believe of the two, I think Edmonton is more realistically the ones that could get a team in the future. I personally would like to see Edmonton get a team. You know, the hockey market in Edmonton is just growing by the minute. So, just get off your high horse. Just get off your high horse. Accept the fact you're not going to own this team. And just, you know, get those barriers to entry removed. We can all be happy. Okay? Okay. So that's going to do it for today. Thanks for joining us for the next time. Take care.